We are happy that we are learning homeopathy and we have got rid of the conventional treatment.
Okay. What is the topic of today's discussion?
Arnica montana. Arnica is the first remedy to be thought of for an accident victim. It works swiftly to relieve shock, allay pain, stop bleeding and promote healing.
Arnica not only stops both external and internal bleeding, but hastens the absorption of blood and fluids.
This means it can effectively reduce the swelling from sprains and other traumatic injuries. Reduced swelling means less inflammation, less pain, and faster healing.
Prior to any kind of surgery, I recommend taking a dose of Arnica in potency. For minor surgeries, a 30C is sufficient, but for major surgeries, I usually administer a 200C dose.
Bruises. Arnica cream should always be thought of for bruises. You are supposed to cover the entire area of the bruise with the cream or ointment, and put a gauze pad over it.
This should help the bruise heal very quickly. It is recommended never to apply Arnica montana cream to open wounds,
but to use calendula or hypericum cream in this situation.
Head injuries or concussion, Arnica is the first remedy to think of for head injuries.
When there is trauma to the head with unconsciousness, pallor, drowsiness, weak pulse, cold surface, and other indications of shock,
a dose of Arnica will alleviate the shock and promote healing.
It can even help with injuries to the head that occurred many years earlier.
The remedy is often followed well by natrum sulfuricum for the chronic effects of head injuries with accompanying depression.
Ankle sprains and sprains of other joints can be helped by Arnica.
It will take away the black and blue appearance of the sprained joints in a very short time and relieve the lameness and soreness.
Arnica should also be thought of for back and hip joint injuries with lameness and soreness.
I would apply the cream to the sprained joint several times a day to hasten the healing of the joint.
If the person is not on a constitutional remedy, I would just administer Arnica 30C in this situation.
I would apply Arnica montana cream to sore muscles that one gets from overexertion, such as doing too much gardening.
Arnica should be administered in potency for injuries where the flesh is crushed and torn, for bullet wounds, and for wounds caused by blunt instruments.
It is better to apply hypericum perforatum cream or take the remedy in potency for injuries to areas rich in sentient nerves, such as spinal cord injuries,
and injuries to the fingertips and toes, as it works far more effectively than Arnica in this situation.
Do not apply Arnica montana cream topically to open wounds. Instead, apply calendula officinalis cream topically and take Arnica orally in potency for these kinds of injuries.
Arnica is a good remedy to help both mother and child recover from the trauma of labor and birth.
When I was born, I was not wanting to nurse right away, as my other sister had done. I was given a dose of Arnica 12C and I proceeded to nurse normally.
I wonder whether rubbing some of the Arnica montana cream on the baby's forehead would have reassured him just as well, and helped him with the birth trauma.
Arnica montana cream rubbed on the abdomen can help women who feel sore and bruised from the movements of the fetus. Also think about Bellis perennis for this.
Arnica should be administered in potency for injuries where the flesh is crushed and torn. It is also good for gunshot wounds,
and for wounds caused by blunt instruments.
It is better to apply hypericum perforatum cream or take the remedy in potency for injuries to areas rich in sentient nerves,
such as spinal cord injuries and injuries to the fingertips and toes, as it works far more effectively than Arnica montana in the situation.
Do not apply Arnica montana cream topically to open wounds. Instead, apply calendula cream topically and take Arnica orally in potency for these kinds of injuries.
As you can see, Arnica is a huge remedy that has a wide variety of uses.
It can even be used in febrile diseases and in chronic complaints where its characteristic indications are present.
Arnica montana cream is a very good way to get the healing properties of this medicine to work for you in first aid and minor traumatic situations.
Thanks to Dr. Anwar, who made us aware about this precious remedy.
Yes, of course, I am also thankful to him.
It has become very easy to take online consultancy from him through his website.
Yes. Our family is also getting this advantage.